All right, sons. I see a coin here that's caught my eye. I done seen a coin, actually a couple of coins. Bitcoin hit 13,888. Cliff High's magical webbot number again. The most recent high, quite possibly for this year actually. Came down a little bit. It's at 13.2 right now. Another slightly red day in the market, generally speaking. Not much, but there's one little coin called DGB that at this price, at 1.88 cents. And remember, Bitcoin, that magical number 13,888, DGB was just 1,888, and has been sitting there for a little while. It's now 1,8884. Now, when I see a price like that, knowing where DigiByte's already been, knowing what my dream was, and knowing that I've already had some dreams come true in crypto, one specifically, my pendulum has also given me some pretty good numbers that have happened. But there's one thing that hasn't happened yet with DigiByte, and that's the next dream I had after it, which was so vivid, I could cite it to you again right now, and I haven't forgotten a single thing. It jumped so high, couldn't believe what I was seeing in my dream. And then I told myself at the end, oh my God, and you don't have any. And you don't have any. And I was out of the market at that moment, actually. So I was like, time to get back in, just in case. So this is now going back, what, a month and a half, maybe 2 months? I don't know. Some things have happened. This particular one, again, I'm like, come on, man. This one's got to happen. And again, at 1.8, I'm just going to say, if you got some DigiByte right now at 1.88 cents, if it goes to the number that I got in my dream, it will be multiples. And it's probably going to make you smile. So, we're going to do a little pendulum session right now and see if it is a good time to, I'll go a little lower. To see it. Now I've already done my little opening thing that I always do with this, so I'm just going to straight up ask the question. Now normally, you know, once you do your proper opening and protection, you ask it to show you a yes and show you a no, which I've already done. So mine will pretty much swing like this. Sometimes it's not as powerful, sometimes it's more powerful, sometimes it's not an exact circle. And then when I say show me a no, it pretty much like, it might move a little bit, but it's like very structured, almost like a magnet's kind of holding it, where it little bit of movement, but like no, it's not doing, like something's trying to stop it, is the way it looks to me. So here we go, peeps. At 1.88 cents, is DigiByte right now a very good buy for people? Okay, that's a yes. Thank you. Is the dream that I had where it was multiples higher than the price is right now, is that still highly probable of happening? Yep. Okay. Now I've asked this before, but things can change. Is Bitcoin going to reach and go higher than the all-time high of $20,000 this year before we get to 2021? So you see how it might move a little bit. Of course I'm breathing, but it's not doing the circular thing. It's pretty much staying still. I mean, little slight movements, but it's not a circle, it's not a swinging. It's just me breathing and talking right now, of course, making it move. but even before, when I ask the questions, of course I'm talking, so maybe it does move a little bit, but you get a clear yes and a no still. So, next question. for Theta crypto, we're expecting a much larger move than it is right now at, I think, 66 cents. Is that next move that we're expecting, me and Woo Woo Dude, still highly likely to come in the near future? That's an easy yes. Thank you. Is the coin that Woo Woo Dude got for approximate early next year, that's supposed to be really big move, is that still highly probable of happening, and also during that time frame? Okay, that's a yes. So again, I've asked Bitcoin multiple times this year, and it always gives me a no. It's not going to 20K this year. It's not. And by the way, Theta, I guess, isn't 66. It's 62, 63 cents, but it still knows what I mean. I just looked down. You know that Hex coin that I just don't want to bother with? Is Hex coin, for all intents and purposes, what most of us would call a shit coin? Yes, it is. What else can we ask? Was BitConnect a shitcoin? Thank you. Are some people who are invested in the cryptocurrency market, generally speaking, next year, 2021, going to earn significant income from those investments? That is a yes. Are there going to be some people suffering financially next year? That's a kind of an easy yes there. Are we going to have food problems, food shortages next year across the planet? Is it going to be noticeable? Yes, thank you. I'm trying to think, is there any questions I can ask? That might be a no, just to be safe, to ask this thing. It's just yes, 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 yes. It did say no about Bitcoin. Is Joe Biden, I've already asked this, but I'll just, because we're closer to the election. Is Joe Biden going to be the next president of the United States of America? And even with my little movements, it won't start moving. Like, it'll just move and then stop. That's my no. Is Joe Biden going to drop out of the race for the presidency before November 3rd? That is a yes. And I've asked before. Excuse me, and it's a yes. I'm now going to ask it a question that I'm not allowed to say out loud. But I have proof. I will have proof that I said this, so I got to mute this. Okay. Now I've got some proof. I have proof of the question that I asked. Not necessarily right here in this video. I have it elsewhere because I've known about this for a little while. Me and Woo Woo Dude conversation. And it is you know, there's timelines, right? There's timelines in this world, and sometimes the timeline can shift and you're kind of on a different timeline and things like that. So it has to do with something like that. And between you and me, it's a good timeline for us, you and I, and people, generally speaking, the population. And I was essentially asking that particular timeline event or events, is it still on? Answer was, as you saw, yes. And based on the news I've been reading lately and tweets and stuff, I would have assumed yes anyways, but we still don't know yet. So I'm waiting on that to happen, and then I will present to you after the fact. Oh, look what we discussed. It's logged, but it was something we just can't talk about yet. So, having said all that, we will see. Again, like anything, could my thing be wrong here? My pendulum, yes. Are psychics wrong? Yes. But again, DigiByte hitting 1888, that 888 number, which, by the way, my Patreon folk, regarding that coin we're talking about coming in the new year, speaking of 888s, DigiByte's 888 Bitcoin last night, 13,888. Okay. All right. Is that our sign? Like, hey, relax. You got a little more waiting to do, guys. You got a little more waiting to do. And I'll tell you this too. At another session with my Woo Woo Dude's girlfriend Julianne last night, and my wife, she woke up this morning, and she goes, you know, you did that thing last night with Julianne in the crypto cave, you know, where it was quiet. And I started like at 9 o'clock, and she's like, book an hour of time, 90 minutes, in case it goes that long. I said, okay. It didn't need to go that long, so I did what we did, and then part of that, the channel came through and wanted to speak to me, and I thought, oh, because it wasn't necessarily going to be a channel. She said the channel might come through, and if it does, that's fine, but it might not, and we're not here tonight for the channeling. But if it comes through, then that's fine. Well, it came through and spoke to me, and I was able to ask some questions about a few things that was really interesting. And one of them was about my spot in New Mexico, and the spot where I got scared. Like, something was telling me, like, I'm not going to make it out of there alive. I need to retreat, get out of here, but I'm stuck. You know, like, I'm never going to make it out of here. Fear. I had to ask a little more about that, and it told me something really interesting. But after that session with her, I came to bed and, you know, came in the house, and it was probably 10 something at night at that point, and said, all right, let me, you know, I'm kind of tired. I'm ready for bed. And I'm like, you know, part of what I did with her was listening to certain music and tones and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to do that and then come to bed and listen to my shamanic drumming stuff on top of that. So I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to mix these right now. I'm like, I feel good just going to bed. Let all what just happened kind of sink in and just chill, go to bed. So we wake up. My wife's like, you know, last night when you came to bed, you know, you remember putting your arm around me or whatever? I said, yeah. She goes, when you did that, I swear, like, there was some kind of energy on you that when you put your arm around me, I felt it. First time ever. I'm like, wow. Yeah, because she did what she called an attunement on me, amongst other things. And I remembered, because I'm like, I turned the lights off in the crypto cave. I've got my eyes closed. I'm kind of meditating, listening. I had headphones on, which were connected to the computer in there, which I'm doing a Zoom with her, and we're chatting. And she's okay, I'm going to play this tone, and I'm going to use my bowl. She has a crystal bowl, really nice sound. And I'm going to do some attunements to you. Blah, 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 right? So, I'm eyes closed, just sitting back, listening. I'm not supposed to speak anyways during this session. You know, not that I needed to. And I saw, and I see this sometimes when I meditate, more than any other symbol or thing. I see that, you know, DNA strand, you know, the twisty little DNA strand in my mind's eye, you know. And I saw it last night several times. And then I remember one part of it where I was like kind of watching the bottom of it, almost like it was spinning, you know, you can see the little coils, and then at the bottom it was like it was sending an energy to me. And I saw that a couple times. I didn't actually mention that to her, but afterwards, you know, the channel was coming in. I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna ask some questions now, and the channel had told me. I'm trying to think, was it her or the channel? You know, I mean, it is her, but like, I can't remember if she was channeling or if she just said it at the time. But one thing or another said, oh, you're you know, we're modifying your DNA to unlock some of these abilities within yourself, basically, and also strengthen your shields against anything else out there, dark entities, dark, whatever you want to call it, because as my light gets brighter, so to speak, they notice, oh, what do we got over here? And they're going to try to F with you. So I needed a little tune-up, if you will. And so I saw that DNA thing in my mind's eye without her ever mentioning that word while we were doing the session. Then after the session, which is also when the channel came through, I saw that. She told me about it, and I'm like, oh yeah. Funny you said that, because I saw that thing in my mind's eye while you were doing this work on me. So that was kind of cool. Very nice. And you know, I've never had anybody channel for me until her. I've seen people channel, you know, and again, you know, sometimes you question, like, is that really an entity? Like, are they just changing their voice? Are they just, you know? And again, she touched on something on one of my twins, my daughters. This is a couple times ago, like 2-3 weeks ago now. And I was like, wow, only me and Evelyn are aware of this. Nobody outside of Evelyn and I. There's no way that entity could have picked up on this and told me very good news and positive stuff about this issue. And oh, you can just do this, it'll be fine. Okay. Got it. It was awesome. So it was at that point where any little bit of skepticism I had, and I did have a little bit, by the way, went out the window so fast, and it's never coming back. So I needed that for my own little bit of again, even, oh, well, you're woo-woo, dude. Joe, you're woo-woo. Why would you even be skeptic of that? You believe in all that stuff. Well, yes, and kind of, but no in some things. And unsure in other things. But I learned quickly, whoa. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Whoa. So I'm now, I'll be honest, I'm a, you know, for sure 100% believer in, again, listening to all the messages that came through since day one. If anybody heard these messages to me, you'd be like, wow, that's very positive and very incredible. That's the devil. No, it's not. This isn't Waterboy. Mama said that's the devil. My Bobby Boucher ain't playing no foosball. That's from the devil. No, it's not. This is from what you would call God or source. And I'm taking it in as much as I can, as fast as I can. And as soon as they're ready for the next thing, I'm ready. Okay, next. What can I do next? Come on, put me in, coach. And I've got one more thing that Woo Dude wants me to do that I haven't had a chance to do yet. And I'm going to be doing that maybe today. But anyways, it was funny because my wife, for the first time last night, got this energy that was on me. When I put my arm around her, she felt it. But she was pretty much sleeping, and like, you know, I'll easily wake her up if I do that, though, when I put my arm around her or whatever. So she would probably just, you know, move over, roll over, you know. She didn't feel like talking, obviously. So next morning she said, you know, when you did that, I felt it. You had energy on your body, and when you put your arm around me, I felt the energy around you on me. So I was like, man. And the funny thing was, it's about 3. So one of my numbers is 3. Okay, big time. I wake up last night, got to go pee, middle of the night, 3:33 a.m. Ah, shocker. Go to the bathroom real quick, go back to bed. I wake up realizing I had a dream, but also telling myself, man, I didn't get any sleep. Ian's already awake at it's got to be maybe 4 a.m. Ian's already making noise and is awake now, ready to eat his bottle. All right, I do it in the morning. Okay, so I go back in the bathroom. Like I was just in here. What? It's 6:30, 6:26. What? 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So yeah, that's 3 hours. But I was just in here. I just went to the bathroom. I'm like, because I still feel tired. But then I was like, oh yeah, I had a dream. And this was kind of a cool dream. So Eddie Van Halen died recently. And, great guitar player, of course. He made some great music. And there's a guy on YouTube that I follow. His name is Steve Terryberry. Terryberry, I believe. Terryberry. And he's a Canadian, younger guy, younger than me. He's funny. And he's an epic guitar player. But he's very entertaining. And, the guy's this guy's top notch. Like, really good. And I just enjoy stuff, just pure entertainment, but it's cool stuff. So in this dream, I see Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen. But first, I think I'm with Steve Terryberry in this room, and I'm like, dude, if you ever need like a drum track to some of the stuff you're messing with, like, hit me up. I'll not too much, but maybe once a week I can handle. I got a lot going on, but I'll put a drum track down for you, some of your music, And I'm like, by the way, you always play little pieces in here and there. Like, do you ever just like play like a full song, some Guns N' Roses or something, where you're just jamming the whole song? And he was talking to me a little bit, so he left. And then all of a sudden, Eddie Van Halen comes in. And I'm talking with Eddie Van Halen. I'm telling him, how much I love the music he made, especially like back in the day, when I was younger. When I guess he was with David Lee Roth, I think, at the time, I wish they all could be California girls. He did that song. They did that song together. I think he was in that band at that time, wasn't he? I'm thinking David Lee Roth. Anyways. But I was like just reminiscing on some of those old 80s songs and stuff. And like, man, I was like, God, you guys, I was a young kid, but man, you guys had some of the hottest women alive in your videos. It was so awesome. Like, oh, remember Hot for Teacher? Hot for Teacher, And so I start like, we start going over like the script, Hey, dude, give me a pencil. Give me a piece of paper. I forgot my pencil. And so I'm like saying it to him, and he's saying stuff back to me. Just having a good time. I just to let him know I appreciated what he provided, during his time on Earth. And he enjoyed my company. I really enjoyed his. Of course, I'm like sitting next to this, superstar guitar guy. And then so I leave, and I go to this other hotel where Steve Terryberry's at, like, and that's where I'm staying too. And I'm not, because he's like, yeah, when you come later, just knock on the door, come hang out for a bit. So I go to tell him, I'm like, dude, Steve, you know when you left to come over here? He's like, yeah, dude. Eddie Van Halen showed up right after you effing left. And we were just having a good old time, reminiscing on all of his old music. He was like, what? Oh my God, I missed him. I'm like, yeah, but here's what happened. And so that was the dream. I don't really dream about rock stars or anything like that, to be honest with you. But the dream, what I'm getting from my dream was, I was just kind of paying respect to Eddie Van Halen, to let him know some of the music you made was pretty incredible. People remember that music. It wasn't just like some jabroni. This was, Van Halen kind of stuff here. Big songs. And I just thought I'd tell him I, appreciate what you did, and, helping him reminisce on some of the older days, and letting him know when I was a kid, because he was obviously much older than I am, and he just died. But, he was probably 20 years older than I was, so I'm like letting him know when I was a kid, I was that video with those hot girls, oh, the Hot for Teacher, oh man, little kid, thinking about these hot, girls, as young boys do, teenage boys. So, he enjoyed hearing my stories and, about how I love those videos and stuff. And so then, again, we replayed the song Hot for Teacher, like the part where they're talking, and he's doing it and I'm doing it, he says the one part and I say the one part. So I was like, and he really enjoyed it. Like he like he wasn't expecting that part. Like, he was just thought we were gonna chat about the songs or something. But then I'm like, I just start saying it, and he jumps into line like, oh yeah, So he starts saying it back, and he really enjoyed it. So I was like, wow. I woke up thinking, like, that happened. Like, I really feel like I spoke to this man on the other side, to just give him some props and wish him well. And hey, you're on the other side now, and thanks for what you did while you were here. He had no problems. He's not like sad he died. He didn't want anything like that. He's there. He's supposed to be there. And thanks for stopping by, Joe, and having this chat with me. And it was really a pleasure, And so again, was it a dream? Because of what I'm going through these days spiritually, I'm looking at some of this stuff a lot differently these days. Like, there's some meaning, real meaning behind some of this stuff. And I'm doing like, I'm starting to now, like, astral project or leave my body. But as Woo Dude has told me, you're not ready yet. So they're pulling you back. Like, you're going and they're like, nope, they grab you back. Because I said, this is a few times now. I said, man, I'm in there doing these meditations now, like, on a regular basis. And sometimes I'm listening to that. Oh, I'm always listening to music while I'm doing it. And I'm like, and I feel that little heavy sleep coming on. And I'm like, And yesterday, I'll give you an example. I was home with Ian, and he just woke up from a nap, and all of a sudden, I am just freaking tired. Help, I'm tired. And I'm like, wow, I'm feeling like extra tired, and my brain's telling me, is this their way of letting you know, if you go take a little snooze right now, we're going to give you a download. You're going to do something. Like, you're going to go for a spiritual experience. Because JC had that happen to him the very first trip to New Mexico. We were about to go back out to the mountain right after breakfast. And he's like, guys, I can't go. I feel exhausted. Like, I'm like, I haven't slept in days. I got to take a nap. And we're like, well, that's funny. Like, we just woke up a little while ago. Okay, no, all right. Me and Dave will go. So me and Dave went. And me and Dave got some good stuff done. Helped Dick Algar do with the remote viewing session for us. We got some footage. And we came back, and he had that crazy dream about the goddess Inanna and the dagger and whatever. And but to him, it was like, whoa. And he's like, now I know why I had to go for that nap. Like, they were going to pull me in. So I remember that story. And then I felt yesterday like, wow, God, if I close my eyes right now, I'm going to go out pretty quick. And I feel like I really want to sleep right now. But I got to watch Ian. Evelyn's not home. And I'm like, so we have this little small room. It's like a little small office room. It's not big enough to be a bedroom, but whatever. It's his little playroom now. So we got a little gate that locks on the door. So there's no way in or out. He's in there. And there's like this little bed thing on the ground. So I'm like, if I set him in here and go lay on the couch, he'll play for a few minutes, and then he'll come up to the gate and, he wants to be with you. So, that's not going to work. So I'm like, I'll just go in there with him and lay down on that thing while he's playing around. Maybe he's going to be tumbling around on me and climbing up me or whatever. It's fine. So I'll just lay here with him. So he was happy that I was in there with him, actually. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. But I'm like, laying down, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting really tired. So I'm looking around like, yeah, he can't get in any trouble. Like, and maybe he'll wake me up probably. So I'm like, close my eyes, and he'd look over and see my eyes closed, and like, oh, nope, you're not allowed to have your eyes closed. So he'd come over, mess with me, open my eyes up, and then he'd like see me open them again, and he'd go back to doing what he was doing. Like, he wanted me to watch him, And I remembered, my girls used to do that. Like, as long as you're there with them and watching them with their eyes open, it's like you're playing with them, I guess, or like, So I guess he was like doing that. I'm like, man, he's only 9 months old. He's already doing that. But I'm like, I can't keep I'm dying to, I can't keep my eyes open. And I'm like, and then he come mess with me. Oh, okay. And I was like, and I'm realizing just how close I was to going out. And I'm like, I just closed my eyes. He was just right there, and he took 2 seconds to crawl over here, and I was almost out. So I'm like, telling myself like, wow. So finally he goes back again, and I close my, and then I'm out. I go out, and my whole body shakes. Wake up. Nope, you're not allowed to do that. So I have that happen at night when I'm doing my ears thing, my headphones, and because my wife tells me, she goes, you jolt like, not a little like, you like, and when you're over there doing your thing and sleeping. And I go, oh really? She goes, yeah, like It's not a little. Like, you're like, ugh! And I go, well, I do recognize sometimes when I do that. And I said, you know, I asked Richard, woo dude, I said, man, why? I've said that because I feel like I'm going out. Like, I'm going into the dream world. And then I'm like, my body or something's like maybe not used to it. So it's like scared or something. So it like, my right arm will go, you know, wake me up, or my leg will kick, or with my left leg and my left arm, just boom. Those are my crazy sound effects, by the way. As you know, it doesn't make any noise besides the sheet moving. But the sound effect is to let you know there's power behind it. And it wakes me up. And I'm like mad at myself, like, no, like, let me go in for the deep dive, man. Come on. Why is my body stopping me? He goes, it's not your body stopping you. It's the guides. It's your guide stopping you. You're not ready. Like, you're ready, but you're not ready. Like, you're ready. I'm going, and let me go, Dad. You know, put me in, Coach. And you're going off, and they're like, no, grab him, pull him back. He's not ready yet. We got more work to do with him. He's not. He can go. He's like, he can make it now. He can figure out how to go in, but he can't go in. He's not ready. So pull him back in, and they, of course, shake my body. And I wake up. Oh, and I'm like, dang it, because I can tell, like, I'm going in for a deep dive. I can feel it. So right there with Ian. So my body is accepting this energy, if you will, that's ready to communicate with me. And I'm with Ian. I'm like, oh my God, I'm devastatingly tired. But I got to watch this kid. No, like, my wife's not here. But I'm all right. I'll just be in here. I'll just see if, you know. Wake up. Oh my God, I was just going out. I was just going in. Dang it, they did it again. So finally I got up, and then I'm like, wow, funny. I'm not feeling tired anymore. Like, once the jolt came, I'm not tired anymore. I woke up. Again, I was out for half a second, if that. And there's Ian. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm up and he's up still. So, all right, let's go out. Let's go for a little bike ride. To put on the little electric trike thing. We go for a little cruise down the neighborhood. So I'm like, strange. Now I'm not tired anymore. So what he told me was, yeah, you're starting to astral project. You are leaving your body. You are going, and the guides they're letting you. You know, you're not ready yet. So they're just, grab them. You know, like a little kid, my little baby. You put him on the ground, he's gonna crawl away, getting everything he can. That's basically me. Oh, I can astral project. Let me go. No. Like little Ian. No. Don't grab those wires. No. Don't hold that. No, let go of that. Come over here, baby. That's me. Oh, no, Joe. You can't go there yet. No, you can't go into the mountain yet. You're not ready for that yet. Come back. No, you can't go in outer space. Come back. You know. So that's me. That's how I say that. So, anyways, I'm going through these really interesting experiences. Richard and Julianne are basically working on me nonstop. And even the guide that comes through. Oh, what did she call it? We send you healing vapors, or vapors that work on. You don't even know this is happening. You don't even know this. We're just doing it to you. So, you know, upgrading me, so to speak, my spiritual awareness and everything. These abilities that are locked, that are unlocked. And they told me, you got to work with Dick Algar. Ask him to take you under his wing like an apprentice. You have this gift of remote viewing. It has been it's locked. You can unlock it, and he is the key to help you unlock it. Get with him, and if you need us to channel for him, we need to speak with him. We have some things to tell him anyways. So I said, oh, okay, so I'll tell Julianne when she comes back too. They want to channel for Dick Algar. So I said, let me pay for it. You know, let me pay for this session for him. And I don't know what all they told him, but they did tell him to ask him, could you help Snippy? So he gave me a little email message, and I'm going to do some things. But they said, you will be really, really good when you unlock this ability, because of everything else, I guess, that's happening to me right now. You will stream financial information very well, like incredibly well. So in other words, like these dreams I've been getting, that's just like that's a drop in the bucket. Like, you don't have to dream, you just tap in and ask. Oh, I got this now. You're not going to be asking psychics. You're going to ask yourself. Oh, I know the answer, and then you're going to get these downloads yourself. You'll be able to find stuff in the mountain. You'll be able to find locations by remote viewing yourself and knowing exactly where to go. They told me there's 3 things I will find. 3 separate treasures, if you will. I believe in that same mountain, all of them, that ultimately I will find. And I'm going to help myself find them with the gifts, these spiritual gifts, including remote viewing. So, like, I'm hearing all this, and again, if someone just said this in the beginning to me, and I hadn't experienced stuff yet, I would say, okay, thanks for sharing that with me, but like, come on, man. Joe Biden, come on, man. But I've already experienced a lot. So I listen intently and say, okay, if you're telling me that, I believe you. Somehow I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't. So here I am doing what I do. Saw Digi today, got a feeling in my gut that said you should probably be all over this. Of course, it's 19 cents or 1.9 now. Not that that's much higher than 1.88, but might as well stop in case this thing starts rocketing up or something. So just want to do this video for you. Didn't expect it to be over a half hour, but I felt like telling you a few things. Some people might be interested in this stuff. Some may not. But I felt like saying it. So on that note, yeah, take it easy. Maybe grab some Digi, man. That's a fire sale. Because if my dream comes true a second time, you will be thanking me very much so where the price goes. And by the way, as we get close to the price, like when it's, I say when, not if, because I really believe this is going to happen. When we get close to the price, like I did with Theta, I'll probably come out here and say, okay, guys, we're in spitting distance of the price. To let you know, free of charge, maybe I get ready to unload some Digi at this price. So you'll know when we're getting close. I'll do some videos. And then once the price hits, of course, like I did last time, I can then verify it. Say, look, here's my Patreon post. Here's when I got that dream. It was a month and a half ago or whatever it was. Could be 2 months now. I don't know. And blah, blah, blah. So, again, there's no way this is a coincidence to me. And Woo Dude has been giving me stuff too. It's been going on a little bit of a sideways move, right? Not really going up. The market itself, Bitcoin went up a bit, 13K. While the alts kind of sat, so I think we're going to alternate in a little bit. Maybe we'll hit 16K Bitcoin and then pull back on Bitcoin. Then maybe the alts start taking off. But he was getting recently like, okay, I think the cryptos are getting ready to move again. Like we've had a little period of time, and the channel also, I'll mention this, had told me, the market will do its thing. You'll get your dreams. You'll get your numbers. You'll tell your people, your Patreon. You'll be happy, everyone happy. And then you wait for the next move and market goes not so active for a little while. During this time, you focus on your spiritual growth. Market starts to go up again. Moves for the next trades. Stop. Focus on that for your Patreon people. Tell them, okay, up. Period of time. Market not moving too much. Come back, do spiritual growth. And I thought, okay. I'm like, that's kind of what I've been doing. Like, anyways, I mean, what else am I doing? There's not much to talk about crypto when it's not moving too much. I'm not getting dreams. I'm not getting prices because it's not doing anything yet. It's not time. So that's what I've been focused on. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make it a habit to really take advantage of that time and not slack off too much on the spiritual side when I have the opportunity like this. So I think that window's closing here soon for me to deal with that stuff. And now, hey, let's focus on crypto again. Oh, got a new price. Oh, Richard called me. Yeah, this is going to happen, stuff like that. So, at any rate, that's it. Got a little work to do at the house. My friend Bill's here with his wife. And I got a little small thing we're going to do to get together today. And that's it for now. So, take care.